So December was all about magic for me, and I got it with 3 amazing novels that I'm going to share with you guys soon. Hi everyone, welcome to Pen to Paper. I'm Leah Lindeman, author of the Canadian Reminiscence series. As you may have seen in my last video, first video of this year, I'm now not only just doing 1 video a week, but I'm doing 2. On Wednesdays will be my AuthorTube channel where I give writers tips and advice to those who just need encouragement and help in their writer's journey. And on Fridays, it will be BookTube. I just love both so much, and I just cannot divide up my weeks between, I can't, I need to do both each week because there's just so much fun in both spheres. So this week, I am giving you a taste of what I read in December. I didn't read a lot. I only read 3 books, but these 3 books were so mind-blowingly awesome, and they were all 5 stars. For the first 2, I'm not going to go too much into them because I actually did my first reading vlog with them, which I'll be putting up soon, so you'll get to see kind of more my in-depth thoughts about each book. Maybe not so much with the 3rd book, because somewhere in all of this, my phone ended up being washed in the dishwasher. Yeah. Yikes. It was crazy. And it was like a new phone that I got. And I knew that my mom was getting a new phone case for me for my Christmas present. And it's a super awesome, cool, rustic looking phone case. And then it ended up in the dishwasher, and it was terrible. It was a very sad day. So my phone was out of commission for a little while, and I did not film it. But I still have to do that. So I'm going to tell you what I read, and then I'll give you a quick, short TBR for January, which I'm excited to start this new year with some great reads. I was actually planning all my content out for this year for AuthorTube and BookTube, so most of the year has already been planned out, but I left some space for, last minute additions, and there's so many great readathons to be a part of, and there's just so much great stuff, so I'm so excited for all this. The first book I read was The Dark Days Pact by Alison Goodman. So this is the 2nd book in the Dark Days Club series. The Dark Days Club I read back in April. This is the 2nd one. It was a 5-star for me. You know how sometimes it's a little scary to read sequels because you're not sure if they're going to be just as good. Well, this was even better. It follows Helen's journey. She has discovered that she is part of this secret society called the Dark Days Club, and she is a reclaimer, meaning that she can reclaim the she can reclaim the souls of those that have been tainted by sickness, like a darkness inside them that these demons put into people. So there's the whole spiritual world. You have the demonic, the demons. Oh goodness, I forget what their names are. Yeah, this is bad. Deceivers. They're called deceivers. They're basically demons that go from human host to human host, and they're able to feed off of people's energies. But reclaimers are a secret society that are able to combat them, and they can also reclaim the souls of those that have been diseased by the deceivers. And so here she trains with Lord Carlston, who is her mentor, and they discover that they are basically the secret weapon against the grand deceiver that is engaging its forces to take over the world and bring more deceivers into the world so they can be run over by them. I'm not going to say anything more, but it was so good. In this book, Helen has a lot more opportunities to make use of her gifts, and she gallivants off at night as a gentleman, as you can see here on the cover. Some really great stuff, great chemistry, plot, more opening up of what the deceiver world is like and how the reclaimers find their place in it. So good. I could rave about this series forever. And then I finished it off with The Dark Days, Deceit. Oh, I was really nervous getting into this one because I loved 1 and 2, and then I was like, this better not flop, this better be so amazing. And it was. The tension between Lord Carlson and Lady Helen was brought to a whole new level. She is about to get engaged to the Duke of Selburne, who he has just kind of forced himself into her world because he needs to protect her, and he was really annoying. But I won't say any more. And then they discover how they are going to defeat the Grand Deceiver, and you find out who that is, and they save the world. And yeah, I can't say anymore, but 5 stars all the way. You guys like, if you guys like historical fiction, smattering of romance, fantasy, this series is a must read. It's absolutely amazing. And then the last book that I read this month, which I actually just finished today, I'm so glad I finished it in time for this video, was The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick, which I found out is like 2 authors writing it together, and that's their pen name. That's really cool. Anyways, thank you, Leslie, so much for showing me, or, introducing me to this book. It is so good. I loved it. 5 stars all the way. I have nothing to complain about. It is, well, look at how big it is. First of all, it's 620 pages long. The authors did an amazing job of setting up the world and giving the world such depth and texture. It starts off as this girl, her name is Ren. She is from the slums, was born in the slums, was part of like, they call it a knot, basically a slum group that ran the slums. And she, at the beginning, kills the lady who is in charge of that particular group, and she makes her way in life. And then we see her at the beginning. She is an adult, and she is trying to pull off a con. She wants to get into one of the houses that run the city so that she can be taken care of, that she can be wealthy, that she has a family. Turns out there's a lot that she doesn't know about how the houses work. And it starts off as a con, but there's so much more depth to the story that's added as you read through it. So it starts off with a con, then you realize there's a lot more in terms of how the houses are vying for political power against each other, and that makes the story go deeper. And then there's this whole magical realm, dream versus reality, that makes it go even deeper. And you have this particular person called the Rook. We don't know who he is, and throughout the whole book she's trying to figure out, like, okay, is it this person? Turns out they died. It's like, what? There's this character who you think is a main character and they die in the book. It was like a total Game of Thrones move. I totally did not expect that. And then so then she's thinking, oh, maybe it's this person. Anyways, I'm not going to say any more because they cleverly set up, like kind of making you go red herrings for who the Rook is. You do find out at the end who the Rook is. I had this person in mind at the beginning, but then, yes, the authors did a good job of kind of stringing me along here and there. But when I found out who it was, I was like, yeah, okay, that fits really well. Oh, it was so good. The second one is out, guys. I'm going to order it right away. I'm so excited to get into it. Yes, I love it. It's really good. That's all that I read. I started listening to The Yellow Crocus by Layla Abrams, I think that's it. And that was Julie from The Hungry Bookworm suggested it to me, and I love it. So I'll be able to let you know at the end of January how that one turns out. But so far I'm loving it. And I was also reading Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol. I read staves 1 to 3, basically parts 1 to 3, but there's parts 4 and 5, and I still have yet to read those. And I don't care if Christmas is done, I'm still going to finish it. I was aiming to read it before Christmas, but things just kind of got busy and I was spending a lot of time with my kids and it just didn't happen. So I'm going to read it this week with my kids, finished it off, and the Christmas Carol will be done. It'll be the first time that I've actually read it through. Charles Dickens is a master with words and description and really setting the place and the tone. And so I'll also cover that in my next wrap up and reviews. There are other stories about Christmas in here, but I'm just going to stick with the Christmas Carol and I'll read those other stories for next Christmas. Now I'm going to quickly launch into what I'm reading in January. So the first one that I have to read, that I actually need to read in the next 3 days, is From the Ashes by Jesse Thistle. He's a Métis Cree. It's his autobiography and basically, I guess, it's a memoir of resilience, and I'm really looking forward to this. This would be, I think it's my first Native piece of nonfiction work that I've read. So I'm really excited about this. I actually do have Métis roots. I don't know much about it. So this is going to be very eye-opening. So I'm excited to go into that. Then this was on my November TBR, then my December TBR. Okay, I must read it in January. I'm really looking forward to this. The Women in the Walls by Amy Lukovics. It's horror, and it sounds very interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. And then Melissa Yee's White Lightning, Hope Z medical crime novel. This is number 9, and I believe it's the last in the series. I'm really looking forward to sharing this author with you guys. She's actually a local author to me. We're part of the same book club. We're friends. And I was actually in her play that she adapted from this novel for her launch just in the beginning of December. So I'll be putting that link up in the description so you can see the play and the book launch that accompanied that. Really looking forward to this. I love the cover. I love the pink and the purple, and cool. And then I'm so excited for this one. Almost Ruth by Tyler Jones. So Tyler Jones did a small reading on Brad Proctor's channel from this book, and I was immediately captured by his prose and the depth and just beautiful writing. So I knew that this was a must. Like, I needed to buy it and I needed to read it. So I said this was going to be one of my January reads, and ta-da, here it is. So I'm really excited for this. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. And then also, last but not least, I can't show it because it's on ebook, but I'm also reading Flannery O'Connor's short story collection, A Good Man is Hard to Find. And I'm reading it along with Jay from The World According to Jay. We did a buddy read of Betty back in November, and then we did a live, and I think we're planning to do the same thing. So we wanted to read it along with Noah from Everyone Who Reads Must Converse. He is doing a read-along of Flannery O'Connor's works over January with a few other booktubers. So I'll also put that description down below so you can check it out. And if that's something that you want to join in, that's great. Join in on it. I'm so excited, you guys, for this year. So excited. I'm just encouraged that I got like most of my content done for this year, and all I got to do is film it for you. Okay, then there's editing, but that's okay. So that's it. Tell me, what was your favorite read in December? Did you read anything because of Christmas? I hope you did. And what are you most looking forward to reading in January? See you next week.